Welcome back. Glad you're joining us. We are in the midst of Jesus' teaching and being confronted by the chief priests, the elders, Sadducees tomorrow. He had just told the parable of the of the wicked tenants and pointing out about how his authority comes from the Father, and they are rejecting him. So let's read. But before we do, I just wanted to let you know that to get caught up, I am going to be doing these every day until we get caught up. And I think that will be pretty much through Good Friday, maybe even Easter Saturday. And then we'll start the last chapter on Easter Monday. So I think we have 1 or 2 days where we won't have any. These things are written on the weekend, Easter weekend, and then we'll finish it up then. So wanted to let you know that how we're going to get caught up. That's how we're going to get caught up. Anyway, Luke 20, beginning with verse 19. The scribes and the chief priests sought to lay hands on Jesus at that very hour, for they perceived that he had told this parable against them. But they feared the people. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be sincere, that they might catch him in something he said, so as to deliver him up to the authority and the jurisdiction of the governor. So they asked him, "Teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightly and show no partiality, but truly teach the way of God. Is it lawful for us to give tribute to Caesar or not?" But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, "Show me a denarius. Whose likeness and inscription does it have?" They said, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Then render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God." And they were not able in the presence of the people to catch him in what he said, but marveling at his answers, they became silent. So as you might figure, the chief priests, the scribes, were not happy with how Jesus had spoken that parable. But they didn't take the words against them to be reason to be corrected. But instead, they upped the ante, so to speak. They sent spies to check on Jesus, trying to trap him in his words. So they asked a question, and notice how they started that question, right? With a compliment. "Oh, teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightly and show no partiality and truly teach the way of God," right? Kind of buttering him up in a way you could say, or maybe trying to get him feeling prideful and confident so that he might speak a little bit more freely. But he doesn't do that because this is Jesus. He has no guile in him. He has no pride. The question was this: is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? Giving tribute is pretty much the same as paying taxes. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar? For us, is it lawful for us to pay taxes? Now, it's a little bit different there because Caesar thought of himself as God. So in a way, it was giving tribute, giving money to someone who saw himself as God. But Jesus, again, answers with a question. Whose picture is it on the coins? And the picture was that of Caesar. So he says, "Then give to Caesar things that are Caesar's," pointing out that really the things of the world and the things of God are very different. Give to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. Give to God the things that are God's. What is God's? Okay, all things, but our lives. We are to live our lives in service for him, not under coercion, not because we gotta do it, but because we are his sons and daughters. We are forgiven. We are his. His response was really perfect, wasn't it? They weren't able to respond to his answer, but they marveled in it as well. when we respond to critics, may we learn from Jesus. May our words be winsome, not angry, not confrontational, but in a way that shows them who Jesus is, and a way that is really above reproach. May God guide us in that difficult task today. Amen. We'll see you tomorrow.